Databases, they're kind of like the plumbing of the internet. They're absolutely everywhere, powering everything from your social media feed to your bank account. But we don't really think about them. So, what are they really? In the next few minutes, we're going to demystify them completely. And we're going to start with a simple story about a little bookstore. Okay, so picture this. You're running a small, charming bookstore. It's your passion project. But the reality is a little messy. You've got customer names scribbled on sticky notes, inventory counts in a beat-up notebook, and your sales records are basically just a shoebox full of random receipts. You have all this information, but it's pure chaos. You're not in control.
And then, of course, it happens. A customer walks in and asks a totally reasonable question. Hey, you know that mystery novel I bought last month? Do you have any more copies? And you just freeze, right? How could you possibly know? You have no way to connect that customer to that sale, to that specific book. The problem here isn't that you don't have the info, it's that you have no system.
So this is the exact moment where you have to make a choice. You can stay in that chaos of sticky notes, or you can move towards clarity. And the bridge that gets you there? That's the database.
So let's get down to it. What even is a database? Super simple, really. It's just an organized collection of information. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is the software that runs it. I love this analogy. Think of it like a smart library. Your data, that's all the books. And the database, that's the super efficient librarian who knows exactly where everything is and can find anything for you in a heartbeat.
Okay, so how does this smart librarian do it? How do they keep everything so organized? Well, it all comes down to a few simple but powerful building blocks. This is how we bring order to the chaos.
First up, the table. This is the main container for your data. The easiest way to think about it is like a single spreadsheet or maybe a filing cabinet drawer. And here's the key rule. Each table is for one thing only. You'd have one table for your customers, a totally separate one for your books. You never, ever mix them. All right, so inside that table, we have what are called records. You'll also hear them called rows. A record is just one single complete entry. So going back to our customer table, one row is everything we know about one specific person. And what makes up a record? Well, that's where fields come in, or as you might call them, columns. A field is just one tiny piece of information within that record. Think first name, last name, email address. Each one is a field, a specific detail about that one record.
Okay, let's look at this example here because it really pulls everything together. See that? The whole thing is our customers table. Each person, Maria Garcia, James Chen, they're each a record or a row. And then those little details, first name, email, those are the fields, the columns. It looks simple, right? But this basic structure, this is the foundation for some seriously powerful stuff.
But wait, there's a little bit of magic we're missing. Remember how I said we have separate tables for everything? One for customers, one for books, maybe one for sales. So how do they talk to each other? That's where keys come in. A key is basically a unique ID, like a customer ID number. It's the secret glue that lets us connect a specific customer to all the specific orders they've ever made. Super important. Okay, theory is great, but let's get practical. How do you actually pick the right tool for all this? So for a lot of us, the journey starts with something we all know, a spreadsheet. And honestly, they're great for simple lists for your own personal projects. But the second you need to work with other people or you need things to be a bit more organized and structured, that's when you start looking at tools that are basically databases with a really friendly face. So how do you choose? Well, this little framework makes it super easy. You just have to ask yourself two things. First, how much data are we talking about? A few small lists or something mission critical with millions of entries? And second, what's your comfort level with tech? Are you a point-and-click person, or are you ready to dive into some code? Your answers will point you right to the tool that's best for you. But I've got to let you in on a little secret, something that every pro knows. The tool you pick, it's actually not the most important decision, not even close. The thing that really truly matters is the design. Yeah, this quote right here, it says everything. The quality of your database is determined long before you create your first table. It's just like building a house, right? You would never, ever start pouring concrete without a detailed blueprint. And when it comes to data, your design is that blueprint. And without that blueprint, oh, you are in for a world of hurt. Imagine this. A nonprofit is tracking donations. But instead of doing it properly, they just add a new column every year. Donation 2020, donation 2021, donation 2022.
Now try to answer a simple question like, show me everyone who donated in 2020 and 2022 but skipped 2021. It becomes a total nightmare to figure out. That's the real cost of bad design.
The good news is there's a proven way to avoid this mess. The pros follow a 4-step process. And check this out. They start by thinking about the questions they need to answer. Then they sketch out the concepts. After that, they figure out the logical structure, the tables and fields. And only then, at the very end, do they actually pick a tool and build the thing. So why? Why go through all this planning? It sounds like a lot of work. Well, it all leads to the ultimate payoff. It's about turning that raw, messy data into crystal clear answers that let you take real action.
Because once you have that solid system in place, you can stop just looking up phone numbers. You can start asking the big questions, the important ones, the questions that really matter to your business. Questions like, who are our best customers?
And just think about it. Answering that one question, it changes everything. Suddenly, you can target your VIPs with special offers. You can figure out how to get more repeat business. You can reward your most loyal customers. You're not guessing anymore. You're making smart decisions based on actual facts.
And that's the whole journey, right there. You go from a messy pile of sticky notes to a powerful system that gives you incredible insights whenever you want them. It's literally going from chaos to clarity.
So, I'll leave you with this. From the app you use for your banking to the playlist that Spotify built just for you, databases are working behind the scenes, answering questions that shape your entire world. So, what are the invisible questions in your life or in your work that are just waiting to be answered if you just had the right system to ask?